Myself, Dr. Rakesh Kumar Jad, Principal, Institute of Pharmacy, Sri Jagdish Prasad Jhavarmal Tibrewala University. Dear friends, today I am talking about NSAID, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Everyone is concerned about pain. Pain is very severe and this is very harmful to our body. So, pain, how many types pain and how we can remove that pain. First one is acute pain and second one is chronic pain. Acute pain is due to some noxious stimulus to our body that will release inflammations that causes vasodilation, and this increase permeability and release of inflammatory agents. And these agents are mainly prostaglandins. So we can treat these pains by different drugs, and these are known as analgesic. Mainly analgesics are many types: centrally acting, peripherally acting. Centrally acting analgesics are drugs that produce narcosis or sleep, and these are addictor like morphine. Morphine is very powerful pain reliever, but this is causes many side effects. Main is the sleep, that causes sleep and addiction. These are two major side effects. Second, here today I am talking are the NSAIDs. NSAIDs, how they relieve the pain. They do not affect the brain, they act peripherally, and peripherally mainly they block the prostaglandin biosynthesis. This is the mechanism of NSAID. As first, what are the NSAID? What is the full form of NSAID? Here NSAID. These are the NSAIDs. N means non-steroidal. S means steroidal. Anti-inflammatory drugs or agents. You can say agents. Here word non-steroidal means the structure of these agents are different from the steroids. Steroids are also anti-inflammatory and these are also inflammatory, both acting peripherally by blocking the prostaglandin biosynthesis. Prostaglandins are the inflammatory mediator that causes pain, fever, inflammation. So these are the agents which are less severe, there is no addiction and there are few side effects as comparison to the centrally acting analgesic like morphine, codeine, heroin. So we will prefer this, and mainly these are useful acute pain reliever. Here basically we talk about the classification, their mechanism of action and side effects and usage. We will discuss in this class. First, as I told, NSAID, these are non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs which are used against inflammation, pain and fever. So what are the classes of these NSAIDs? We will discuss first about the classification. First class is salicylates. First one is salicylates. In this, the main drug is aspirin. Here main drug is aspirin. Aspirin, diflunicel and benzoylate. Salicylamide. This is the first classification, salicylates. And aspirin, everyone know about the aspirin. Aspirin, Disprin. These are the drugs which are used against pain and fever. Second, Indole acetic drugs. Indole acetic acid derivatives. In this, indomethacin, Sulindac. These are the two drugs which are used in this class. Third, pyrrole derivatives. Pyrrole or pyrazole. Pyrazole derivatives. In this, phenylbutazone and oxyphenbutazone. Next class is 2-propionic acid derivative. 2-propionic acid derivatives. In this, well-known drug is ibuprofen, ketoprofen, naproxen. After that, aryl acetic acid derivative. Aryl acetic acid derivative. In this, diclofenac, aceclofenac, and 6-1 is anthanilic acid derivative. In this, mefinic acid, fluphenamic acid, and 7th is oxycam derivative, pyroxycam, meloxicam, and 8th COX inhibitor. 8th class is COX-2 inhibitor. And this mainly celecoxib, rofecoxib, etc. This is general classification and this is very well known. Here we will talk one by one. First, as I told you, salicylic acid derivative. In this, aspirin is very well known, and diclonical, benzoylate, salicylamide, salicylate. Second one is indole acetic acid derivative. In this, two drugs are there, indomethacin, Sulindac. Next one is pyrrole derivative, phenylbutazone and oxyphenbutazone. Fourth one is 2-propanoic acid derivative, ibuprofen, ketoprofen and naproxen. Fifth, aryl acetic derivative, in this diclofenac, aceclofenac. And sixth is anthanilic acid derivative, mefenamic acid, fluphenamic acid. Seventh, oxycam derivative, pyroxycam, meloxicam, and selective COX-2 inhibitor. This is newer drug. In this, celecoxib and rofecoxib. What is COX? COX is cyclooxygenase enzyme. COX is COX-1 and COX-2. COX-1 and COX-2. Cyclooxygenase enzyme. Here, COX-2 is selective and these two enzymes are the mainly responsible for inflammation. As you know, mainly cell membrane contain phospholipid and the enzyme phospholipid enzyme phospholipase A2 will convert this phospholipid in arachidonic acid, and arachidonic acid further attacked by cyclooxygenase and this convert in prostaglandin. And second part, leukotrienes, this is other part lipooxygenase that will convert leukotrienes that are the inflammatory agents for asthma, and prostaglandins are the inflammatory agent of pain, fever and ear inflammation, gout. So this is the simple mechanism of these drugs. As I told you, phospholipid in membrane, and this will attack by phospholipase A2, and this A2 convert this arachidonic acid, and this is attacked by COX, cyclooxygenase and lipooxygenase. This convert prostaglandins and this leukotrienes. Here prostaglandins mean PGI2, and this PGE2, PGF1 alpha, these are the inflammatory agents. So NSAIDs will inhibit this enzyme here, NSAID. This is the mechanism of action of these drugs. NSAID, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, inhibit cyclooxygenase, and that inhibit the release of prostaglandin, and after releasing this there will be no inflammation and the pain will be removed. Here now we are taking different class. Why? Because older drugs causes many side effects, like aspirin causes ulcer. Ulcer is the major problem, heartburn. So this drug is nowadays minimum use or no use due to this side effect. This derived from salicylic acid. Acetylation of salicylic acid will convert acetyl salicylic acid, that is known as aspirin, and others are the derivative that are less causes ulcer as compared to aspirin. So here we talk about diflunicel causes less ulcer. Benorelate is ester of aspirin and paracetamol, and this is amide of salicylic acid. Now indole acetic acid derivative indomethacin is old drug, powerful anti-inflammatory agent, but this causes many side effects, like agranulocytosis is the major side effect. Sunil-Dak is similar to this, but this is prodrug that will be converted to active form after metabolism. So this is used as a sulfonamide. Pyrrole, pyrazolidine derivative is phenylbutazone, and this one is active of this active drug is oxphenbutazone. This is also causes granulocytosis, so this is removed market. Now 2-propionic acid derivative, that is good. Here Brufen 400 and 600 is available in the market, and this is as Combiflam, as ibuprofen. Pink color tablet is available for children 400 mg and for adult 600 mg. So Brufen is good. Ibuprofen, that is less causes ulcer because there is methyl group is given to this that will protect from the ulcer. And ketoprofen, naproxen are the other derivative in this with fewer ulcer or side effect. As in aryl acetic acid derivative, this OH is removed by NH2, that is totally from ulcer, free from ulcer. So mefenamic acid and flufenamic acid not causes ulceration and more widely used, and that are more powerful, as similar cases in piroxicam and meloxicam. Now these drugs are more powerful because they mainly inhibit COX-2, cyclooxygenase 2, that irreversible inhibition of thromboxane and prostaglandin, and second is the thromboxane inhibit MOR2. They cover market very fastly. Celecoxib, rofecoxib, valdecoxib, and there are few more drugs. But what are the major side effects of these drugs? After 10-year post-marketing surveillance, it was noted there are many casualties due to hypertension, crisis, and some cardiovascular side effects. So some drugs are banned in this, like celecoxib is banned, or little dose like 5 mg is only allowed. Not 10 mg and 15 mg, because there are many casualties in last 10 years after launching this celecoxib. So now valdecoxib is available and rofecoxib, but celecoxib is banned and only 5 mg is available you can use, because this causes cardiovascular side effects like hypertensive crisis and congestive heart failure. So this drug is banned. Now at present these are in use. Now we talk about the simple structure of these compounds, because this is very important part. This is medicinal chemistry. We can discuss SAR of these, and we can discuss synthesis of these compounds. That is useful. As we talk about the aspirin. Aspirin is very well known. That is acetyl salicylic acid. Means this obtained first time from willow bark. Willow bark. This is plant that gives salicylic acid, and this causes like this. This is salicylic acid. Here we causes acetylation of this salicylic acid. Acetylation by acetylene agent, and this causes OC double bond O. This is known as aspirin, and this is first drug that is taught to student. Here this available from willow bark, and we can convert by acetylating this aspirin. We can prepare in lab, synthesize in lab, and this is very simple, and this is very useful drug. After that, what is the next thing? This causes ulceration due to this group. This causes ulceration. So other drugs are manufactured by removing this group in different, or by changing this group. This group is also acidic. This causes ulcer. This is the first drug. Now second, we talk about the indole acetic acid. So we add here heterocyclic compound indole. Here this is indole acetic acid drug. Indomethacin. This is indomethacin. Now after that, new drug is diclofenac. Diclofenac is now available in market. In this we remove by here what change done, this acetic acid, and here NH is inserted, and this is diclofenac. Diclofenac tablets are available in the market. Ibuprofen, here we insert 2-propanoic acid derivative. Ibuprofen, this is ibuprofen. So what are the changes in this? Here we are changing this group that will causes major side effect. Next we will discuss in next class. We are talking about NSAID and talk about the paracetamol drugs and its uses. You know, paracetamol is antipyretic drug, anti-fever drug. Now we discuss about the paracetamol. What is paracetamol? That is very important. And you know what is the category of paracetamol. This come in same class, antipyretic, analgesic, but weak anti-inflammatory drug. Anti-inflammatory drug. Here we talk about the aspirin. That is the first drug. Aspirin obtained from the willow bark and synthesized in lab. Then in indomethacin, second one. Then we will go to the third one is ibuprofen. That is derivative of 2-propanoic acid derivative, and ibuprofen means isobutyl group is here. After that we went to the diclofenac, means aryl phenylacetic acid derivative. Here 2,4-dichloropheny amino phenylacetic acid derivative. This is free from ulcer and most widely at this time as a analgesic and anti-inflammatory. After that, anthanilic acid derivative, in this group is replaced by NH2, and anthanilic acid is free from the side effect, and main drug is mefenamic acid, because diclofenac also causes some acidity. But here NH2 group in anthanilic acid is free from acidity. So this is most widely preferred in the case of diclofenac acidity. In this, like mefenamic acid derivative and fluorphenamic acid derivative drugs are used in this. And then oxycam, in which piroxicam and meloxicam. And we talked about the COX-2 inhibitor. Now we talk about the paracetamol. That is very important drug at this time and most widely used last 100 years. Paracetamol, as the name, paracetamol, that is derivative of para-aminophenol. Para-aminophenol. Talk about the history of paracetamol. As you know, before that, benzenylide and acetanilide drug was used. Acetanilide drug used in fever. But liver toxicity is the major side effect of this acetanilide. So what decision was taken after metabolism of this drug? The urine of patient was taken and analyzed by NMR-IR, and the active metabolite was found from this acetanilide drug from the urine of the patient. And what was that? That was the paracetamol. Suppose here acetanilide, this is the acetanilide, this drug is acetanilide. Now after metabolism, this is converted to NHC double bond O CH3 OH, and this is known as paracetamol. After analysis of urine, this drug was found in the urine of the patient, and that was synthesized in the laboratory, and it was used to reduce the fever. And the name of this drug was used as a category antipyretic or anti-fever, reducing fever. And this drug was more effective as compared to acetanilide. And the side effect of liver toxicity was not found with this paracetamol. So this drug was removed. This came in near about 1885. After that, this is the most popular drug, and this was synthesized on commercial scale, large scale in the industry. In India, like Dr. Reddy's synthesized this bulk drug. And what is the method of synthesis? That is very similar. One step, that is para-aminophenol. That is para-aminophenol. And acetylation of this causes formation of paracetamol. You can prepare in laboratory easily. You can take the para-aminophenol. This is available in the chemical store. And acetylating agent, most widely used acetyl chloride or acetic acid. You can prepare this. This is acetaminophen. Other chemical name of this acetaminophen. But this is popular with paracetamol. What is the category of this drug? Maximum students don't know about this, because everyone knows this is used as in fever. But what is the category? That is known as antipyretic. Antipyretic. This is the category. Why? Simply we can say this is fever reducing drug. But this is known as antipyretic. Why we will say this and why we are saying antipyretic? Because this act against pyrogen. Pyrogens are lipopolysaccharides, and these antigens, this is pyrogens are metabolites of bacteria, and these bacteria metabolites causes thermoregulatory center disturbance in our body. Thermoregulatory center in medulla oblongata, that control the body temperature, in our body. So these pyrogens, during infection, bacteria enter our body, they metabolite to pyrogens, and pyrogens upset this thermoregulatory center in medulla oblongata. As the upsetting of the thermoregulatory center, the body temperature increase, and as body temperature increase, fever is noted. Normally, what is the body temperature? 37 degree centigrade or 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. You can measure with the thermometer. As the temperature will rise, means more than this, like 100 degree Fahrenheit or 105, 108. You can note that fever is noted by thermometer and the body will heat. You can observe. Then the doctor will give paracetamol. What is the dose of this? Thrice a time, means after every 8 hours you have to take, means TDS. Thrice a time means TDS. What is the dose of this? 500 mg paracetamol. Crocin tablet available in market. You can take easily. And what are the cause of this fever? This is the pyrogen, means temperature will. What is the mechanism of this drug? This causes sweating to the body. As the sweating come, temperature down, again come to the 98.6. But this totally used to reduce the fever, not the treatment. Treatment is done with the antibiotics, because bacteria again release pyrogens and fever again come after 8 hours. So paracetamol only and only used to reduce fever. So fever can be reduced by, but this should be given properly, because bacteria pyrogens cannot attack. So in viral fever and other fever, you continually take only paracetamol without any antibiotics. If this is due to bacteria, then you have to take antibiotics, maybe gram positive, gram negative, like ofloxacin, ciprofloxacin, penicillin, or different antibiotics you can use. So here this drug is most popular as a antipyretic. But if we talk about the fever, so in case of fever, this reduce the fever, but inflammation means this is not useful in case of inflammation. Analgesic you can use, that will dose will be increased. Suppose 500 mg is used as a antipyretic. If you are increasing 100 mg in 1000 mg, dose of paracetamol 1000 mg, means you can use this as a analgesic. In some patient this is also used as a analgesic, but dose will be increased up to 1000 mg. But in inflammation this is poor. You have to take ibuprofen, diclofenac, mefenamic acid, or celecoxib. So dear student, what you have got from this lecture, you tell me in next class. Thank you so much for your listening this topic.